Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Oh my goodness, can you believe this weather? What a beautiful day. I had an opportunity this morning to go for a long walk with my dog. Luca, come here, come say hi. No, I guess she's tired out from our walk together. But we walked and we walked and we walked. She sniffed and she sniffed and she sniffed, and I just so enjoyed the beauty of the day, seeing people out in their yards raking leaves. It was glorious, and I came home from my walk feeling so filled up, feeling full of gratitude especially. And that reminded me of a story that I read that I would like to share with you. I talk about this in the sermon time in the full service, but I don't get to read the whole book. So for those of you that would like to know the whole story, here it is. How full is your bucket? Now, I know some of you are familiar with this, but I think it's a book worth being reminded about, especially now. I know so many people are feeling a little bit low with COVID, and some people not being able to see their families this Thanksgiving, not being able to be back in church right now, so many things. But as I discovered on my walk this morning, there are still, even when all of that is happening, there's still so much that we can be grateful for. So I'm going to share this story with you now, and wait till the very end, because then I have a little bit of homework for you. How Full is Your Bucket for Kids, written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer, illustrated by Maury J. Manning. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away, you're too little." "I'm big." "Stay back, you'll knock it over." "I can be very careful." "Go play with your baby toys, Anna." "Grandpa!" Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket." Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. When it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket? Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." Felix slipped and cocoa wheat scattered across the floor. "Felix," yelled his mom, "you should have used the stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha!" Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. "Drip." "Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mum. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." Drip. Psst, Felix, psst. Drip. "Watch out, shrimp." Drip. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop, drop, plop, plink, drop. A Gigantosaurus Who Wanted a Pet by me, Felix. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Let me help you. Drop, drop. Here's your baseball. Catch. Thanks, dude. Drop, drop. Hi, I'm Felix. First day? Yes, I'm Amir. Drop, drop. The strange thing was that every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs must have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her." Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks? And so they did. The end. So how full is your bucket? How full is the bucket of your friends and your family? Are there things that you can do to fill up your bucket, to help fill theirs? Thanksgiving is a great time to be thinking about this, and so I'm going to give you a little Thanksgiving assignment. I would like you and your family members to find a container. Each of you have your own container. It could be a bucket, it could be a glass, it could be a jar, it could be anything, but a container that is your very own container. And then over the next week or so, I would like you to write a note or draw a picture, if you're not writing yet, of things that will fill up your bucket and fill up the bucket of those you love. So you might write a note to yourself, reminding yourself of all of your gifts, and you'll put that in your bucket. And then you might write notes to your family members, telling them what you appreciate about them. And just keep writing notes. Maybe you want to make this a longer project, but at least do it for a week. And just try and fill each other's containers up. And then you'll have those containers. And in those days where you're feeling a little low, where your bucket is feeling a little empty, you can read those and it will remind you of all of the things that you still have to be grateful for. So I hope you will do that for me, and I hope that you will go ahead and share your gifts, maybe in the comment section below. What are some things that help you to fill up your bucket? What are some things you can do or some things you can remind yourself of? And share those with us, because everybody will read them, and when you share your bucket fillers, it helps to fill other people's buckets as well. So I hope that you do it, and I hope that you have a fantastic Thanksgiving and get to eat lots and lots of turkey and all of your favorite treats. I look forward to seeing you again next week.